we are 2 years removed from the finale. Just about. I think it wrapped up, just towards the end of the summer. But regardless, in 2022, the world was graced with She-Hulk Attorney at Law. And if you remember even just a little bit of that show, I am sorry for the long-term effects of brain damage. But it's just, I also cast my mind back to that time and, just realize how much garbage we were inundated with. Because, yeah, you had She-Hulk. You also had the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Oh, yeah, and you also had Lord of the Rings of Power, all concluding their first, and for most of those shows, only season. But then at the same time, you also got House of the Dragon. So you win some, you lose a lot. But while Ewan McGregor has moved on to brighter pastures, he's still trying to shill for his second season. Good luck, Ewan. Don't think it's going to happen. Just try to blame more racist fans or something like that. It worked out wonders the first time around. We need to have a continuation of the Reva story via your legacy character. I'm sure it'll work out for you. That'll be great. The Rings of Power, oh, that's going to be starting up here at the end of August. I do believe season 2 is going to be dropping with Sauron's goofy ass wig. That'll be fun to mock. And House of the Dragon season 2 is going on, but the only one of that original crew that was dropping in a late summer doesn't have any sort of continuation. That the star is still latching onto the show that last gave her any sort of notoriety is Tatiana Maslany. Still talking about She-Hulk's finale, and when that show was going on, it was very easy to see how much they A, hated the Marvel audience, B, hated the property that they were working on, and C, only cared about themselves. Like I said, we're 2 years removed from that show being foisted upon us like an Egyptian plague. It's clear to me and anyone who has watched this interview, this is just simply a continuation on, and it just gives you some insight into why this show was so bad. I've got a couple of interviews pulled up here. Now, both of them aren't from Tatiana Maslany, okay? There's only so much I can stomach, and I don't want to hurt my audience. Okay, of course not. That would be very, very masochistic. And we leave the masochism up to Leslie Headland over in The Acolyte. But she's asked by this, cuck interviewer about the arc that Jennifer Walters went on during the show. And, well, let's just listen to Tatiana talk about, the character of Jennifer Walters. Okay, let's just see what we can glean from this, shall we?
That's a great question. I mean, I feel like innately your body starts to respond as an actor to having played a character for an amount of time.
It was 8 episodes, but okay.
There's a settling in, there's a sense of like knowing who you are. And I think for this character that actually really is true of who.
Yeah, she's a real whore.
She is as well. Like she's stepping into this world kind of blindly and with like a lot of resistance and a lot of like, I don't know how I fit into this.
She was given every opportunity in the world, yeah, and she was immediately better than the Hulk at being the Hulk. But yeah, no, she has no idea what she's doing, even though she was telling the Hulk in the first episode how to be a better Hulk because she knew how to handle stressful situations because she's a woman and she gets catcalled. Unlike Bruce Banner, who tried to end it all but ended up pulling the trigger, waking up and spitting out the bullet. I'm just saying, this was a special piece of media.
I don't know if I fit into this. And so to me, it felt like a natural thing to sort of just embrace where I was at in terms of like, as an actor stepping into the Marvel world. Yeah, again, the meta-ness of the show, but like, that's where Jen was at. And I think she does come to.
So Jen reconciles with the meta-ness of the show that you're feeling. Are you sensing a through line through this? Because outside of just simply opining about the potential motivations of the character, if you're going to be an actor, you're going to be stepping into the role, a well-established role, somebody who has had a lengthy comic run, okay? Somebody who has such legacy at Marvel where they used to be a part of the Fantastic Four. They are, I think, the best-selling solo female character, at least on the Marvel side. If not, right up there. But wouldn't you think that, I don't know, maybe you'd go back and check the source material. You would actually check some of the characters' motivations from whatever run you're going to be trying to adapt or wherever you're going to be taking those character motivations from. But then again, Jessica Gao, she was just interested in owning the chuds, dunking on the fans. And Tatiana Maslany, well, she was more concerned with something else that happened in the show. But I wanted to compare and contrast this self-absorbed interview spot where, okay, so what's the arc of your character? Well, I really felt that I was important because I was going through this and I, and compare and contrast that with Cody Christian. A name that you might not know. I think he's been in a few things. I think he was in that ill-fated, Teen Wolf reboot, but he's also the voice of Cloud Strife in the Final Fantasy Remake project, and he was asked a similar question on a voice actor panel. And I just want to compare the two responses here, and I think you might find this very interesting.
How did you prepare for your roles in Rebirth?
A lot of research, a lot of research. I had been familiar with Final Fantasy before. My brother was a super fan, so when I was able to break the news to him and share what was going on, he was bouncing through the walls, which is a very special moment. But he was the one that pointed me in the right direction and kind of really shared with me the importance of this game and the connection that the fan base has with it and the characters and how everything is so well thought out and honestly beautifully written. So I just dug deep, man, and I got sucked in and got very addicted, and it was a combination of both, I would say, passion and excitement, and also, fear. There's a lot of expectation, and there was a lot of pressure riding on this game, and more so, I think, me putting it on myself simply because I know what this means. I understand the significance to the fan base that has grown up around it.
So
Just compare the two. It's light years apart. Somebody who understands the importance of the role, because, okay, I might have more of an attachment to Cloud Strife as a character, even though Final Fantasy VII, and guess what, the OG, isn't my favorite Final Fantasy game, okay? The game that I played the most, the original wasn't my favorite at all, but Cody saying that, yeah, I played the game, I understand the reverence, okay, but then, talking with my brother and then realizing that, oh, okay, cool, this is where I need to go in order to get into this role. This is where I need to go in order to figure out the motivation, how I'm going to go ahead and encapsulate this role, that I can do it the best that I possibly can for the fans and for the character who means so much to so many people. You don't get that from most Hollywood actors, okay? It's all just simply a vehicle for them. They could care less about the source material. They're just there to cash a check. And that's why, in preparation of, the big review that I'm trying to do by the end of the year, I've been listening to a bunch of interviews from the creatives and from the voice actors, and they're a great group of people. And then also on the day-to-day when I'm reviewing the likes of the Acolyte and, just old legacy content like She-Hulk, and then I just hear all of this, well, I felt like in me and all of this stuff that's really important to me, it's shocking. It's still going to be shocking. And while Cody Christian, knocked it out of the park, and there's definitely going to be a part 3, and knowing the story of Cloud the way that I do, his best moments as a voice actor, at least that potentiality, is definitely going to be coming in the third game. Oh boy, it's going to be payoff central over there, and I legitimately can't wait, even though we're probably 3 to 4 years away from actually playing the game, which makes me sad a lot. But we already know Tatiana Maslany's favorite scene of She-Hulk, and She-Hulk star Tatiana Maslany calls the divisive twerking scene the greatest moment of her life. Yeah, the fact that she got to throw it back, and it wasn't even her, it was her CGI stunt double, for Christ's sakes. Twerking with Megan Thee Stallion. Jesus. The Hulk attorney at law star Tatiana Maslany has credited her divisive twerking scene with Megan Thee Stallion on the MCU miniseries as her favorite moment ever, and one she had plenty of practice for. Oh my god. Again, it wasn't even her. It was CGI. It was She-Hulk, not Jen Walters. What are we doing? The Hulked Out Lawyer made her first MCU appearance in August of 2022 in the Disney Plus series She-Hulk Attorney at Law, Episode 3, The People vs. Abomination, Emil Blonsky. Featured a cameo appearance from megastar Megan Thee Stallion as herself, after being indirectly involved in another superpowered case of fraud taken on by GLK and H. In the post-credit scene, saw Megan Thee Stallion signing papers to become a client of Maslany's Jennifer Walters, which prompted the pair to break into celebratory twerk to the rapper's hit song Body. Yeah, I don't know why that made its way into a Marvel show, but it certainly did. The moment proved polarizing for fans. Not really. Everybody just looked at it and went, "Yuck! What is this? This is She-Hulk. This is Jessica Gao's vision. And this is $212 million worth of Marvel money." Okay, great. The moment proved polarizing for fans, but Maslany has admitted that she had a lot of fun with the unexpected team-up. Yeah, great, fantastic. I had been to multiple Megan Thee Stallion concerts before this. I was ready, Maslany said during a recent appearance at a superhero Comic-Con per Agents of Fandom. That was the greatest moment of my life. Episode director Kat Coiro? Sure. Somebody else who's unemployed. Or probably, I don't know, maybe directing the next Avengers film. This is the way that Marvel works. Told IGN that the duo's dancing scene was not always part of the script. Well, I don't even know what would be a part of the script. That shit was slapdashed so haphazardly together, so it was like, whatever. Because Maslany is such a huge Megan fan, threw something together. Wait, what? Okay, despite the fun all parties involved had in creating the scene for the show itself, a second season doesn't appear to be in the cards. Yeah, but hey, at least Tatiana got to have the greatest moment of her life. At least she got to throw it back with a professional whore. But at least okay? Because if she's not going to look out for the fans, if she's not going to look out for the audience, I guess Marvel is by not greenlighting a second season. As long as she got her solipsistic itch scratched, then I guess that's really all that matters. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.